Hi guys, I wanted to do a review today of The Last Little Blue Envelope. I think that's what it's called. The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. It's the sequel to 13 Little Blue Envelopes, which I know some people thought was boring and didn't like, but I love that book. I just reread it before reading The Last Little Blue Envelope just to kind of catch up on the story and remind myself of what happened. And unsurprisingly, I loved the book. I'll probably actually buy the two of them, which if you watch my other videos, you know I don't buy a lot of books unless I really like them and I'm going to reread them at some point. So I might buy these two. It was a really good story. If you haven't read the first one, it is about a girl named Ginny who gets these letters from her Aunt Peg, who she finds out has died from brain cancer. And in these letters it tells her that she needs to pack up a backpack and go to Europe and just follow the directions in these letters, and she's not allowed to take anyone with her. She's not allowed to take, cameras, cell phones, maps, nothing. She's just on her own, and she has to do what tells her to in these letters. And so she travels around and gets into all these, all these things happen to her, and she meets all these crazy people and all that jazz. And if you haven't read it, stop listening. But at the end, she gets her bag stolen with the last envelope in it, so she just kind of ends up going home. Well, this book, The Last Little Blue Envelope, Ginny's at home getting ready to apply to college. And all of a sudden, she gets an email from a guy named Oliver saying that he found her bag and has her envelopes. And so she decides to wait on college, or, just take a break from whatever, and not apply yet, and she flies off to England and meets this guy. And I don't want to give too much away, but it turns out that there's more art of her aunt's to find, and so she meets up with, her uncle Richard, I think it is. God, I forget names so quickly. And Keith and the guy Oliver, and adventures ensue. So I loved it. I flew through it, actually. I couldn't put it down. I kept having to leave for places, and I just couldn't make myself stop reading. But it was fast-paced. Excuse me. I thought it was a really good story. It was very entertaining. You're really rooting for her to, just get through it okay. And it was just great to revisit the character, because I was kind of bummed how it ended, and I didn't know that there was going to be a sequel. I don't know if other people knew, but yeah, I was just really, really happy with it, and happy that it was made. So I just think Ginny's such a great character. I love that all this stuff happens to her, because that's the kind of person I want to be. I wish I was just traveling around Europe by myself doing crazy stuff. But she's not so, confident that she's an unattainable kind of personality. She's not just oh, I can do this and no problem. She's freaking out, and she knows that she just attracts trouble, and Keith calls her the mad one, because, wherever she goes, something's going to happen. And so I just find that such a realistic, it's admirable, and you want to be that kind of person or have that kind of life, but it's not so unrealistic that it's not like a real person. She has real people problems, and she just happens to have all this stuff happen to her. So I think that's kind of what I like about it. So yes, go read it. Go read the first one if you haven't. Go read this one. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I also think I'm going to start doing something new. Sorry, I don't know why I'm looking over there. I'm playing with stuff. I think I'm going to start doing something new, because I always want to talk about the books more in depth, but I am a super freak about spoilers. Probably more so than I need to be, but I hate when people ruin stuff for me. So I think I'm going to start doing reviews, and then I'll have some kind of ending credits thing. And then after that, I will talk about, if you've read the book, or if you don't care about spoilers, and talk about stuff that happened that I want to talk about. So, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. If you want to hear more about the book, stick around in a minute. Bye. Okay. So if you read the book or whatever, I kind of expected it, but I was so mad that Keith had a girlfriend. What is that about? Because I like them together. And so, yeah, that was kind of a bummer, and I was disappointed in that. But his girlfriend was so likable that you kind of got over it. Kind of like Ginny did. Like, Ginny liked her too. So, there was that. But he was such a douche, excuse me. Flirting with Ginny while he's there with his girlfriend. Like, how inappropriate is that? I would have been so mad. And I am glad that she got with Oliver. I kind of expected Oliver to do that whole keep the money, blah, blah, blah thing at the end, but I wasn't sure because he was such a kind of a jerk most of the way. But he had moments where you kind of thought, okay, maybe that's going to happen. And it did. And even though it's kind of cliche or predictable, it was still good. And I like predictable if it's a good ending, you know? Just because I'm a wuss like that and I like cheesy things. But yeah, so I was really happy how that turned out. And that she's going to stay in England for a while so she can, you know, be with Oliver and her uncle. And yeah, that's really all I had to say. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about this, but I just wanted to freak out about Keith for a minute because I was really mad. I guess that's all again, so bye.